Good morning and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast with Ronald Pauleus, where we dig into the principles woven into the universe, woven into this world by God Himself. Those principles are able to lead us to success, bring about results if we so choose to push forward and using them. Principles like consistency, discipline. Those two principles are actually what we'll be talking about today. What I want to, I'm giving you the punchline right now. You're 1 year of action away from people calling you lucky. What, what would your life look like if you were consistent for the next 365 days? It's one of those things that if you're not careful, each year you'll be saying, "This is my year. This is my year." Those types of people. This is my year to work out and get buff. This is my year to work out and lose weight. This is my year to grow that 6-month cash savings for my emergency fund. This is the year. This is the year. This is the year. And 10 this is the years later, nothing has happened. The people who are successful started. The people who are successful started. It's not they were there at the right time, which that plays a role in it. Also, the resources you have access to, the connections you have, the knowledge you have at the moment, those factors do play a role. Don't get that wrong at all. Don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is those who have become successful, however they define success, started. Whether that's winning a spelling bee, they started memorizing words and how they're spelled and listening to how they're pronounced to try to gauge how they're spelled. They started. They started practice. They started taking action. And you're 1 year away of consistent action and discipline from people saying one day, "Man, that person's really lucky. Wow, they lost 30, 40, 50 pounds. They were able to get a new vehicle this year when they had that 1980, 90 old beater with no AC. They're really lucky. They got that promotion. They got that new job. They started that new business, and it's been 6. They're lucky. You're 1 year of making 3 offers a day in real estate. You're 1 year of going to the gym without missing a week. You're 1 year of posting valuable content online. You're 1 year of calling leads, networking every day. You're 1 year from doing the boring and invisible work from people calling you lucky. Alex Hermazi said this: "People think I got lucky. I didn't. I just didn't stop." I just didn't stop. People underestimate how much can change in 12 months of focused effort, of consistent discipline. People underestimate it. You don't see it the first month. You don't see it the third month. But the way compounding works, another principle woven in our universe, Einstein said it's the 8th wonder of the world. The way compound works is you gotta keep doing it until it just goes off the cliff and starts taking off. You don't really see it in the day-to-day gritty stuff. 1 penny becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, and you can't live off 4 pennies. But it's not until you get to that 20th day of a penny doubling every day that you're starting to see, okay. The 25th day, it's like, whoa. The 29th day, the 30th, the 31st. Oh, wow. Okay, this has gotten out. I can't actually control this. You're 365 days away from that happening. So how are you to get lucky, quote unquote? So it starts with commitment, clarity. You got to know what you are building. If the vision is fuzzy, so is your focus. You're 12 months away of not sporadic, up and down, changing from here to there. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to push the ball forward. You got to stay pushing one ball, not 10 different balls, or 12, one each month. Then you get to the end and you say to yourself, nothing worked. Have you ever met those types of people? They just can't seem to stick with one thing. Man, I've tried this dating scene, and that one girl, I can't, she just wasn't it. And that one, and you're thinking to yourself, dude, you didn't get off the second date. You weren't able to get down into the nitty gritty and talk about meaningful things in life and what that looks like together. Do you want kids? Do you not want kids? When would you want to have kids? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Do you want to be? Do you want to travel? You've not stuck with it enough to get into the nitty gritty to ask the meaningful questions where you can get on the same page and build a life together. Man, that diet didn't work, and that one, you do know if when you start things like the carnivore diet, your body is going through a reset, and it takes time for you to adjust to the reset and then push forward. It's not just 2 days in, I don't see results. I worked out for 2 days, I'm not lost a pound. You got to stick with it enough, and it has to be focused. Clarity. Know what you're building. The other thing is your calendar. Is it on the schedule? If it's not scheduled, it ain't getting done. Right? That's why doctors, before you leave, they ask, hey, can we schedule something for 6 months in the future on this day at this time? And it's on the calendar. 6 months later, you're there. A lot of people seem not to miss those because they get it on the calendar. And it's on the calendar before other things are on the calendar. And if something is on the calendar, like a vacation, you adjust. What doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. And you got to have enough focus to say, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. because I'm making room to go to the gym. I'm getting up at 6 a.m. because I'm making room to dive into Scripture, God's holy word, and pray and get to know Him. I'm making room to connect and network because I want to build connections with people in this industry, and I want to grow in this industry. I want to make relationships that will help me get deals, get into the right rooms, connect with the right people, push forward. You got to make room for it. You just have to. June 12th so there's several networking meetings that happen in my part of the world here in Oklahoma City. A lot of networking spaces. Sub 2 meetup. I believe it's the second or third Thursday. I get it mixed up sometimes of every month. June 12th. That's when I went. There's what is called a wholesaler's breakfast every, I think, second Saturday of the month. There's REI Mindset, where just all these intentional repeating networking events that I attend and show up and connect with, because I want to build relationships with people who have money and they want to invest into real estate. It's backed by real estate. They want to be lenders. They want to get a passive return. They want to learn about what it looks like. I want to build relationships with more fix and flippers, more wholesalers, more people who are buying warehouses. That's the next level, right? I've put it on my calendar, because what doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. The other thing is you need a community. So clarity, calendar, and community. You need people in your corner who normalize winning. You've heard the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. People underestimate how valuable it is to have someone in your corner saying, keep up the good work. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep pushing through. You're almost there. That result will get you that prize. People underestimate that. When you're in a room full of people who are doubting and saying, real estate won't work, and that's not really the thing. Man, you sure you want to go to the gym at 5 a.m.? Dude, you sure you want to be reading scripture and praying to God? And you sure you want to miss out on drinking soda? Drinking wine and beer? And you sure when you're in those rooms that don't support you, it's harder to keep pushing forward. The other thing I want to highlight is you need content in, content out. What are you listening to daily? What are you putting out? We live in a day and age currently where we are consuming more than we are creating. And God created us to be creators, to be cultivators. If we are just sitting around soaking like a sponge, we're going to get bloated, and it won't lead to our flourishing like it should. You need to be creating, whether that's making a podcast like I am now, pouring into somebody else's life, mentoring someone. I have a couple guys that I mentor, I pour into, I love them, pray with them. We do life together. We talk about Jesus. I'm pouring out, but I'm also always making sure I am intaking, listening, reading scripture, going through sermons, going through books. I'm going through the Grit book right now, and it is fantastic. Angela wrote a great book. You always need to be intaking, but also making sure you're investing in others. What does that all help you do? Well, Ed Millett said this: one more. You need one more rep. You need one more day. You need one more try. You need to make one more offer. You need to get one more customer. You need to get and work on one more lead. You need to do one more day. You need to stop waiting. You need to start building. You need to take the action. You need to take the action. What are you waiting for? Have you ever thought about this? It takes a long time to be an overnight success. It takes many days to be an overnight success. It's painting one picture at a time, putting one puzzle piece together at a time, lifting up one set of weights at a time. It's being focused, connecting with the family, praying, reading scripture, connecting and networking. It's being consistent at the invisible things. Things that people don't see. People don't see you getting up at 5 a.m. so you can go work out. People at the gym do, but they don't know you. People don't see you relentlessly making sure you know where every dollar goes and budgeting and being faithful with your income and being a good steward. People don't see you listening, going through books, devouring content online, being mentored, joining coaching programs. You got to do the invisible. You got to practice and cultivate the skill, sharpen the knife, and keep going out to the field. And then one day you get a big catch. You kill a big game, and you take home a lion's head. You got to be consistent. The only difference between where you are and where you want to be is what you do next. Did you hear that? The only difference between where you are and where you want to be is what you do next. The grind is not punishment, it's preparation. And if you stay in motion for a year, brick by brick, you will wake up in a life you once only imagined. And people will say, you got lucky. You got lucky. What if I told you you were 365 days away from a totally different life? Would you start now?